Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm using Scrawlrbox 90. It feels like a very spring themed box. They've sent 3 System 3 acrylic paints in blue, white and yellow, a black water-soluble marker and this Canson mixed media paper that's got beautiful texture to it. The prompt is organic origins, and the image I'm getting for this prompt is a grand big old oak tree, so I'm going to try and draw that. But first I want to mix up the colors, see what colors I can get to use for my idea basically. And normally you can get a good range of colors out of 3 different paints, but what makes this absolutely beautiful is the fact that this marker is water soluble, so it gives me just a lot more actual colors because you can darken the colors you have. I've just found out that mixing a yellow into this gives me a kind of greenish brown, and yeah, this is gonna give me a really good range. I reckon I could probably get a good few more colors out of this set, but this is pretty much what I need for my idea, so I'm just gonna get on with it now. I'm taping off the edges so it looks nice and neat when I'm done, and then just pencil down the layout. Now these are acrylics and they tend to be quite opaque, so I don't expect to be able to see my pencil drawing once I've painted the background, but it's still a good idea. It gives me kind of placement of where things are gonna go, and I tend to always start with a pencil drawing, so maybe it's just a bit of habit. These are such beautiful colors. They're very thick and creamy and just a pleasure to paint with. They feel very much like oil paints, except for, of course, the drying time. Acrylics dry very quickly, so you have to work quite quickly when you're using them. But they are quite forgiving in a sense where once they dry, like I said before, they're very opaque, so you can easily just paint over something. If you mess it up, you won't be able to see through the layers. I haven't put any clouds in the middle because I don't want the white of the clouds to interfere with any highlights I might want to add to the foliage of the tree. And I'm using the different shades of green in the background to create a sense of perspective, so that darker things are kind of further away, you can see them less, and they get brighter and brighter as they get closer. I'm using the yellow here to create a more vivid sense of separation between the front hill and everything else that falls further back into the distance. Now I need some brown for the tree trunk, so I've dabbed out some ink from the marker, added some yellow, and I'm starting with a darker side, so I need this to be a darker shade. I'll add highlights later. I'm not too particular about this because for one, nothing in nature is ever straight, so the more crooked it is, the better in some sense. And for the other, it's mostly going to be covered by foliage anyway. You're only going to see a few little bits coming through the green. And I'm choosing to do the shadow now because I already have the dark color mixed up. Like I said before, the acrylic paints dry really quickly, so if I don't do it now, later I'm just gonna have to mix it up again, but because it will have dried on the palette. Now foliage might seem like the hardest part to draw, but it really isn't. It just requires a little bit of patience. I'm dabbing different size and shape dots all over the tree, and because it's never one color, I'm going to go over this several times, adding different shades of green, as many different shades of green as I can get, and that will be the base layer. When the base layer is done, then I'm going to start thinking about where the highlights and the shadows are. Now that I've put down a mixture of all the darker greens I had, I'm mixing up a lighter green and just going over it again, adding lighter foliage again all over for now. This is still the base layer, and then I'll mix up more colors as I go, because like I said, they dry quite quickly. So I'm going over and adding this lighter green where I feel it's needed, including on the grass. And then I'm going to continue lightening it, adding more yellow and more yellow. Now I'm starting to focus on the tops because the light hits it from the top. So adding a little bit more and more and more lighter color from the top, so you can see it kind of settle as the top part of the tree. Now when it starts feeling a little bit light, I'm adding darker color underneath to create more shadows and the bottom side of the same branches full of leaves. And just carry on building it like that until I'm happy with how it looks. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more random art. Thanks, see you soon!